Yeah. So Crafty really got away from us. Ethan, what can you tell me about Crafty?
I can't tell you shit about Crafty. I don't know anything about it.
Crafty is a movie about this guy who really fucking loves candy, and his roommate won't let him have it. So, gotta get what you gotta get, I say.
Yeah, you know, I mean, try to think of a movie that's close to that. You can't do it. And I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought of some, you know, some movies that share the concept of trying to get somebody else's goods.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but nothing to the lightheartedness of what Crafty's going to be.
So Dre, what did you think when you first heard about Crafty and that you and Mark would be starring in it?
I was pretty excited about it. Just the fact that it's two good friends, like Mark and I was close as hell, but then at the same time, I was excited about it, but then started seeing the script. I was like, I feel like there's some gay tendencies in here, but we worked with it, but I was super excited and glad I got to be able to do it. Finally got to be able to do a thing with you, so about damn time. Trying not to curse.
Do you know much about Andre? What did you think when you learned that he was cast?
Well, I'll put this as nicely as I can. I like Dre.
Mm-hmm.
I do. He's that special kind of asshole of a friend that everybody needs to have. But you know, it's the kind of asshole that he would give you the shirt off of his back if you needed it. So for him to play into this pivotal role where he's, you know, very protective of his goods and his roommate, which is perfectly cast as Myra, just perfectly cast, because I can see him trying to be a little sneaky with it, and I can see Dre just, you know, like he's the guy that punch you in the face if you try to touch his shit, and then pet you on the back of the head, like it's okay, come on, and then give you a Tootsie Roll. It's small, but it's something, and with him, it's really the thought that matters. But no, I was pretty happy about that, and I got to know him a little bit more during that night, and actually looking forward to seeing him, because I think between him and Myrick, I think there's some real chemistry there. So that's definitely going to be fun to see it play out. It really is, and you know, much to Myrick's credit, he's kind of a universal personality. You know, you could really put him in any situation, and he's going to be that guy. He is. You know, the only thing is that you have to put in a strong point, and Andre is definitely that strong point. So I thought that was brilliantly cast with Myrick. It's going to work, and I know it will. I'm looking forward to seeing it work. Andre.
How did you like working with Andre?
It was the best, actually. Like, kids, like, I was really surprised about, like when we actually, like, got him his lines. Like, he's actually did really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I want him to do more shit with us.
Okay.
Because I guess we play off each other really well, so, like, it's great to have that person who's, like, just as crazy and retarded as I am.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was good. I liked it.
Telling you about Crafty. I don't know. I don't know what you want to know. I don't know what to tell you. I can't give you shit.
I adored Myric's performance. It was like, Myric's performance was like, oh yeah, this guy can act. That's right, he's not just my friend. He's actually can perform, which was nice. It was good seeing like Myric like go through like fake emotions. It's interesting to see.
Myrick always delivers because he doesn't know how to do anything else. The Dre guy didn't know shit about him, don't know shit about him. But I mean, shit, we got it in the can, right? Whether he was there or not, I guess he would have been irrelevant. But now he's relevant.
And what are your feelings on the story of Crafty?
Well, without story, there's no film. And so, I mean, I think that's all Crafty is a story. I think that's what every film at its core should be. And when you don't have like I said, working on minimal budget, when you don't have the budget of explosions and effects, then it has to fall back on story. So Crafty's story, I mean, it tells itself, and if you watch it, then you'll know.
I like Andre, and I thought that what he brought to the table was fucking hilarious. I wish he learned his lines. But I mean, shit, like, he was hilarious. And especially the most believable the entire short was when him and Myrick were in love. When they had to play that. They're in love. That's the truth.
What was your favorite part about the shooting experience and about the film itself?
Dude, they all well put together, man. Everybody knew what they were doing. Professional as hell. It was my first time doing something like this, so y'all had y'all shit together for sure. So it's just, I like the way it all went together. I liked how it was just like with my friends, but at the same time was a very professional setup. So it was enjoyable, man.
What was your favorite part of the film?
I think the Pink Panther salute thing, and then the dance scene. Cause I like the shit out of that lollipop for a while. My face is just sticky. I slapped myself in the face a couple times with it by accident because I was dancing, and then like I would go to like sing into it. I was like I guess I was like too forceful, and I just slapped myself in the face a lot with that lollipop. I know girls feel like getting head.
Did you like that dream sequence with Autumn and Kat?
That was fucking pretty. That was pretty great. It was really funny. Cause like you guys just like pretty much like let me do like whatever I wanted, and so there's a lot of like Millie rocking for no reason. With like a sucker in my hand, and then there's just like sliding, a lot of spins. I'm gonna do that again.
No, I mean, with so many different films coming out, and when you stay on the indie track and you kind of seeing what people are coming up with, and most of it are more real life dramatic, and it's like it doesn't have to be. It doesn't. It's like when Warner Brothers started doing animation, and they say, well, why does it have to be so serious like Disney does? Or why? Let's make it goofy again. Why not? This is film. There's nothing you can't do with film. And I guess that's the idea. That's like the idea behind Crafty, is that it's a movie that you can watch, enjoy, just kick back, have a good few laughs, and just kind of put yourself in that picture. I mean, who wouldn't want to be there? Who wouldn't want to be in the dream sequence? I mean, really.
Two beautiful babes dancing next to you, candy everywhere.
Well, I was thinking about that big old lollipop that he was on. I was like, man, that thing looked delicious. And plus they got this sexy black dude looking at it and all, man. It had me going. Don't tell my wife.
Yeah, so through production, like shooting it was a blast. Got to hang out with like all the guys. Got to shoot that music video portion, which was fun. And of course, the best part was the end, where Andre and Myrick fall in love, or at least realize that they love each other. And then so pre-production, production, blast. Post-production was fucking hell. Just because I would constantly work on it, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Let me take like a month off and not look at it again.
Alright, so this story is based on Prixcast number 13. Do you remember that podcast?
Vaguely. Although all of the archive's gone for that. But so I couldn't reference it now if I wanted to. Podcast 13. We did like, what, 20 of those?
Uh-huh.
So...
We're about to do 21.
Yeah, right. What was 13? We talked about... That was the one where we were here, weren't we?
I think we supported the troops, maybe?
Is that the one where the pricks supported the troops? That's where we talked about dickless guys getting new dicks. And so somehow segued into wanting to make a short film. It was... Crafty's brainchild was from the fact that any film we've ever worked on, the Crafty has been the best part of the film process, of course. Eating food is what brings people together. You can get a lot of PAs to do a lot of shit if you buy the right Rice Krispie treats and put them on a table for the free. So essentially we wanted to make a movie based completely on that. to get people to work on it. I believe that was Bruce's idea, was to make a movie based completely on craft services. Yeah. So. Fun fact: Hobby Lobby will take back a broken lollipop. Full refund. It's ridiculous.
So, Myrick, tell me about Crafty. What did you think when Bruce told you about it and you were cast?
I was really excited because I love candy, and what better way to spend an entire day was to like fuck around with my friends, pretty much. Can I cuss on this?
Sure.
Right. then like fuck around with my friends and eat candy afterwards. So I mean, I was on board when he said Crafty. I was on board when we were talking about it on the podcast, and I was like, I would love to just do a film just about snacks because I pretty much just eat and sleep. So.
And that's why I'm excited to see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's the idea, and it's just been spinning in my head since that night when you guys were really kind of putting the finishing touches on what you wanted to do, and I remember thinking, it's like, you know, we would have a really awesome party while premiering this, and that's something that I want to get on board with. You know, I'll produce the snacks for the party, for the little party that you're going to have, wherever you're going to have it at. You know,
You want to have it here?
I would love to have it here.
There we go. So, Andre, how'd you like working with Dathan?
Who's the Thon?
Yo, the Thon kid's the realest. Like, I always heard about him, and I finally met him. And I feel like it was a lot to handle, and like him meeting all of us at once. And he was just sitting back and just looking like, yo, this cast is crazy. And we are really crazy. But like, dude's fucking cool as shit. Like, he's mad cool.
Dathan is a god to me. Dathan could have just not worked and hung out with us, and it would have been just as delightful. Just the added element of bringing Dathan into the group, and him shitting on Myrick and calling him Ricky. Bellissimo.
I've heard that a lot, but I heard I look like Morris Chestnut sometimes. I was like, yeah, I look like Morris Chestnut. He's like, nah, son, you look like Ricky. Like, not Morris Chestnut, you look like Ricky. And I don't know, I've heard that a lot before, so I mean, I was used to it. But, I don't know, he could have ran a lot farther. Fastest nigga in the hood only ran about 5 yards. Damn shame, Morris Chestnut. You disappoint me. R.I.P.
When you heard about our chief financier of Crafty, what was your immediate response?
Laughter.
Now, what were your emotions when you saw that the Kickstarter was successful?
I was really, really surprised, especially like since it happened like 4 hours after you like put it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, no one's gonna give us money for this shit. This is dumb. And someone did, and so I was really, really surprised.
I remember being very surprised that the Kickstarter was successful because I remember Bruce told me that the day that he set it up, not like 6 hours later, it was fully funded. And I remember being really surprised. I was like, dang, like, this Kickstarter thing really works. So, you know, we were all really excited. And then we finally looked at who the guy was that funded us. And I don't remember his name, but I remember looking him up just because we were riding a high. We were like, yes, we've got our money. We'll shoot this. It's going to be great. And I just wanted to double check to see who this guy was. I was interested. And first couple, like the first 5 Google searches, pedophile.
Well, there was the chief financier was a man deemed Mississippi Mike. He met our crowdfunding goal right away. So when asked how he would like to be credited, we got his full name. And when researching his full name, we found out that Mississippi Mike, as the name might imply, liked to touch children. He was convicted more than one time for touching children. And he was also known for touching people in many other ways, which was financing most of their small budget crowdfunding goals. So, of course, we did not accept the money, although my recommendation was to just take the money. But I don't think we wanted an EP that diddled kids. Like, you know, gotta be politically correct this day. Stupid fucking PC. But, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. So we made it happen another way.
I thought this makes so much sense. Like this would it would be something like finally like get enough money for the Kickstarter, and it's from a person who's like who's a pedophile. Like it makes so much sense because that's how our lives go. I mean, like the comedy of it's really funny, but in all actuality, it's pretty fucked up. So
5 kids that we know of.
Oh no, I'm laughing, but I shouldn't be. That's terrible. Don't touch kids. I mean, unless they're your kids, but like, don't touch them. Like, you can whoop them, but don't touch them.
I thought you were pulling my leg. I thought you were just completely fucking around. I didn't know it was like, I can curse in here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought you were just pulling my fucking leg. I didn't know you were actually straight up about that shit. I thought y'all were just trying to play with me because y'all bust my balls all the damn time. But to find out that the guy actually did that, yeah, I feel like I was committing to a crime. But at the same time, dude, we got candy and we got the show done, so I'm good about it.
And I was just like, uh-oh. A short film about candy being funded by a known pedophile. Like, no bueno. No bueno, I say.
Remember when we were at the bar? I had just gotten out of the film fest.
Yeah.
And we basically solidified this entire idea and took photos and made everything live. What was that experience like?
It was really fun just because I was really surprised that, because I know like we've been talking about it since like we did that podcast, so I didn't know the other person that like you wanted like to get to do it. When you asked Trey to do it, I was like, this is fucking perfect because we're both fucking ridiculous. And I know he used to do like some acting like back in the day, so I mean I was like, this is perfect because we, like I said, like play off each other so well. So I feel like it was really easy. It was really easy. So, but I loved it. And that poster's dope as shit.
What's dope as shit?
Poster,
Yeah.
poster, yeah. Can't whisper apparently.
What was it like being in downtown Ocean Springs that night when we were planning everything and we were getting everything sorted out? What was that experience like?
It was pretty up and down because I was like having to multitask. I'm horrible at multitasking, so it's just like having that thought process in my head and then trying to think about that. It was just all over the place, but it came out to be good, so it wasn't too bad.
What was it like working with everybody here?
Dude, it was fun as hell. It was just like us all hanging out. It wasn't really just much like work. Like here and there, just because I forgot most of my lines, that was just the stress out part. But dude, it snapped back right into just hanging out with friends. Had a drink or two, just like every other day, man. I loved it.
I loved working on Crafty just because it was like, what a silly idea to just have the whole budget be food. That's like what we're going to base the whole entire thing on. So when I think you wrote like the first script, or I think Bruce wrote the first script, and he sent it to all of us, and I was like, this is goddamn silly. I love it. Let me see if I can sneak in a rewrite, which is what I like to do. I just like to like punch up stuff. And so when Bruce and I looked through it, I liked a lot of what the gay undertones that were going through it, and I was like, let me punch this up a little bit. Let me make it a little bit more gay. And if you watch the final product, it's significantly more homosexual, which is something I always strive for.
Now, what did you think about the ending? This was kind of like a surprise ending because you didn't bother to learn the lines until the day.
No, I learned the lines and I saw the ending and I was like, this can't be real shit. Like, they're not gonna make us do this. And then I got there and they were trying to make us do it. Cause like I love how like at the end, I don't know if it was you or Jerson wrote, then they do some gay shit like kiss or something, but they probably won't, so we'll have to settle for something else. And I was like, no, I'm not kissing Andre. It's not happening. But I read that like before the day of.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't say anything. I honestly that was just like a joke you put in the script, like Jerson putting in and he rubs his hands together like Birdman.
I mean, I put it in as a joke. But then Jefferson did a second draft.
Those are asses.
My favorite part of editing that was I was just editing it normally standard, whatever, and then I was throwing in the flashback scenes, and I had the flashback stuff that we shot, and then I had forgotten that I was rolling while we were trying to make Dre and Myrick like do some stupid. We were pranking them to make them think that we were shooting something upside down. So we had Dre pick up Myrick upside down. We were never going to use this footage. We just wanted to see these stupid momos do it. So we shot them doing that. And then there's a part where Dre's like picking him up. And then he like fingers at Myrick's crotch. And I thought it was like the best thing I'd ever seen. So obviously I threw it in the movie.
Y'all were never gonna fucking use that scene. You son of a bitch. You know how fucking scared I was? Hanging upside down like that?
Why the fuck would we use... So you thought that we were using the bottom of your head like going down into frame. I never had...
Hilarious.
One, you would still see Dre's body in the background.
That's true.
And two, I never had the fucking camera shooting from like where that frame would be. I was just shooting from far away, and you're like, oh yeah, I think we can get this. Keep going higher, and I'm just like, this is buffoonery.
I fucking hate you. I hate myself. This whole experience has just been, you guys are assholes.
Is there any reason from my past films and work that you've seen of mine that makes you even more excited to watch this latest installment?
Well, Bruce, you're a lot like me when it comes to films.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I kind of feel like the only real difference is, and I talk about this all the time with Grace, is you know movies, but more importantly, you know how movies work, and that's one thing that I don't know. I don't, and that's why having you as a fellow lover of films, I gain more insight from movies that are done, from the episode of It's Always Sunny where it's that constant camera, and then you said when you see it resting on a spot for a second, that's when they cut, and then they pick it up from right there, and of course they were doing it referencing Birdman and all that, but no, just with your experience, with your knowledge, but more importantly with your curiosity. That's what I'm looking to see in this movie, because I really want to see how far are you going to push yourself on this movie. What new things are you going to find out, and you're going to discover how to do, but more importantly, how to do it better. And this is just one step in a scale that you're climbing, and I want to be there when you reach that top, and you're starting to produce $1 million movies based off of your ideas. So yeah, when it comes to this, much like every other thing you've ever done, I'm extremely excited to see your take on it. This is your take on this scenario. How's Bruce going to see it? How's Bruce going to do it? That's what I'm excited about. It's great to have a good cast. It's great to have a fun plot. But it's even better to have a director that's got that kind of imagination. So you put those three things together, I don't think there's any other reason, I mean, that's the top reasons right there. That's the top reason to watch any movie. It just happens to, close friend of mine is making this one, and I get to be on the front seeing it as it goes along. So instead of going to a movie theater to see something for an hour and a half, I get to appreciate it from the very beginning. And why wouldn't you enjoy something like that?
In your own words, sum up Crafty.
Suspense.
Hang on, stay there.
I mean, I really don't know what you want, because I had nothing to do with this production.
All right, so what is Crafty? Tell me about Crafty.
Crafty's a modern genre-breaking feature we're trying to combine the elements of like indie with, but you know, of course, keeping with the trend of progressiveness. You know, just trying to bend the rules of film, and also, you know, working with minimal budget. You have to really kind of make sure you're just making everything count, because you don't have a lot to count. Money being the thing that you could count. Next question.
Getting into that candy
Right.
and just going with it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. That's going to be such a good movie. I can't wait. That's going to be hilarious. But see, it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?